All right, all right. Let's see. Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today, just make sure everything's on. Today, we're going to be going back to Lily J. And was wanting to react to her new Debunk Weekly with Lily J content. As episode 1 and 2, as well as Muhammad prophesied in the Bible and Jesus being God. Now, we're going into her more longer form content, so maybe she'll be able to reiterate and explain in a more deeper way her points and her arguments. And as on top of that, since she is using ChatGPT as her ultimate source,
you guys gotta see this.
Lily J, little.
We are also going to be using ChatGPT. I'm going to quote her, and if she can use it, I can use it too as an ultimate authority. Let's get into it.
You guys gotta see this.
Lily J, little whore. She a prostitute. Is it a coincidence? Lily J, Lilith, bride of Lucifer? You filthy scum. This little Jezebel plays a clip of me where I'm discussing with Jihad Yusuf about different qira'at, and then the genius here, she goes to Chat GPT to ask if Hafs and Warsh are different, and then the Chat GPT says, no, they're just different recitations, but they're exact same meaning. So the Jezebel slut says I'm lying because she's trash, filthy lowlife. This is the woman now that Muslims are using for their jihad. This trash right here, this trash. But this trash can now is defending Muslims. This garbage can. Stop barking, Jezebel slut.
How dare you? You're insulting me? What kind of Christian are you? The Bible says in Luke 6:26, bless those who curse you. So I choose not to stoop to your level, but keep my name out of your dirty little mouth. On top.
Just to start, just as a start, first thing with what she's saying, what she's about to say here.
All this, not once did you.
I thought that was a part. Anyways, with what she starts off with, she is correct. I must say, I do love Sam, but she is correct. The Bible does say that we, not to do what Sam's doing. And on top of that, if we go to 1 Peter 3, we also see that when it comes to defending the faith, we're supposed to do so with gentleness, right? But in your hearts, honor Christ the Lord as holy, always being prepared to make a defense to anyone who asks you for a reason for the hope that is in you, yet do it with gentleness and respect. Have a good conscience, so that when you are slandered, those who revile your good behavior in Christ may be put to shame. For it is better to suffer for doing good, if that should be God's will, than for doing evil, right? So with that being said, she is correct on correcting Sam here for his language.
Rest my claim. I simply asked ChatGPT, is it different or not? And ChatGPT, it completely disproved your argument. And instead of defending your claim, you resort to insulting me and calling me horrible, horrible names over and over and over again.
On top of that, if I was her, I wouldn't poke the bear with Sam. Saying that he was avoiding addressing the claim is crazy work to say with Sam, because he will tear her apart in any debate. On top of that, I do notice one thing with her content. I believe she doesn't only AI her answers, but she AIs this. Because the AI, if this was actually an editor, they would know she's saying ChatGPT. But look,
insulting me and calling me horrible, horrible names over and over and over again. You couldn't have found a better argument. I don't even know who you are. I didn't even know what your name was until yesterday. Your problem is not with the...
Another crazy work. She doesn't know who he is, but she's reacting to his video.
Me, it's with the truth and artificial intelligence. You don't intimidate me one bit. Do you know why? Because I've got an open heart, an open mind, and I'm a seeker of truth. Lastly, to anyone watching, if you missed the video, I'm gonna play it now so you can see what this is all about. Enjoy. You have to see this.
I was dying whenever I saw this, because she's like flaming Sam Shimon for this. It's
You
so
have
funny.
at least 14 versions of the Arabic Quran still in circulation today.
So today I've decided to start a new series on YouTube called Debunk Weekly. They're asking questions. I'm going to get this once and for all.
And look
Ask
at this, look at this.
ChatGPT, but
This is how I know she's using AI for her even this, because look at what it says.
what's going on. So I've decided I'm going to get these.
Her accent, the AI picks it up as her saying chat GBT, which is another thing, because no editor is going to see her talking about chat GPT using chat GBT and throughout this entire video keep translating it as chat GBT.
Videos and ask ChatGPT whether it's true or false. Let's get to the bottom of this once and for all so we can move on with our lives. I'm super, super excited because a lot of these videos made me think. I'm excited to see what ChatGPT says. Let's go. All right, so the first video is from Tyler Moffat. All right, so let's watch it together and then we're going to ask ChatGPT.
You're either lying or you're ignorant again, because you have at least 14 versions of the Arabic Quran still in circulation today. I'll name you two, Hafs and Warsh.
Hey ChatGPT, I have a question. So I just watched a video and this person said that there is two different Qurans called the Hafs and the Welsh. Are these two completely different Qurans?
No, they're not completely different Qurans. The Hafs and Warsh refer to different recitation styles or methods of pronunciation. The text itself remains the same across all recitations.
Okay, so the definitions are exactly the same.
So a couple things. With what she's saying here, right? She asks if ChatGPT if they are different, and it agrees that they're different recitations. That's the point Sam's trying to make. He's trying to say that if you watch the full clip, he's addressing someone the idea that they're the exact same, and he says there's at least 14 different versions. Versions, like the same thing as saying there's different versions of the Bible. The ESV and NIV aren't the same. But specifically for this, that's not the case. It's not translations. These are different recitations. If you were to make the claim that the Quran is the exact same, then it would fall through because there are slightly different recitations. For example, like instead of it saying Allah then said, it would say after that Allah said, or something like that. Obviously, in totality, it pretty much means the exact same thing, but they are different recitations. That's the point. It's addressing the idea that they're exact same. They're perfectly the same.
Refer to different recitation styles or methods of pronunciation. The text itself remains the same across all recitations.
Okay, so the definitions are exactly the same.
Yes, the definitions and meanings remain exactly the same. The variations are in pronunciation.
But that's not his claim. That's straw manning his position.
There you go, guys. If you want to understand exactly what the difference is between the recitation between the Hafs and the Welsh, go back to my old video where I go into detail deeply on the differences. But I'll just quickly explain. So here's 2 pages here, one of the Hafs and the Welsh, and you can see the recitation. The only differences are a couple of dots, a couple of dashes. It's how you pronounce the words that is different.
That's his claim. That's the point.
So it's like an American accent versus English accent. It's the way you say the word is slightly different. It's got nothing to do with the meaning, nothing to do with the translation or what the Quran means. It's just the pronunciation. Is that right, ChatGPT?
Yes.
And now I also want to test this out, just in case. Unbiased ChatGPT, of course, because we don't like to be unfair. We like to be honest. Is it true that the Hafs and Warsh Quran are the exact same word for word, or slightly different word? Let's see. Oh, huh. Okay. So her ChatGPT brought up the difference in recitation and how they are pronounced, but it didn't bring up that there are minor differences in the word choices, like I brought up. Interesting.
That's a good way to explain it. The differences between Hafs and Warsh recitations are like differences in accents or pronunciation, not in the actual meanings or words of the Quran.
All right.
So her ChatGPT just contradicted the.
So case closed. Moving on.
you don't have any copies before 1924 that's identical to the Arabic you're reading today. So they're reading a printed Arabic text that was only standardized in 1924. The extant copies of the Arabic Quran, such as the Birmingham or the Samarkand or Topkapi, they have variations that do not agree, that differ with what you have today. The Arabic Quran that you read today doesn't go any further than 1924.
Okay, next question, ChatGPT. This person online is claiming that we have no copies of a Quran before 1924. However,
So already straw manning. He never said that you have no copies before 1924. In fact, he specified. He even brought up one like the Topaki that existed before. He's saying that the earliest manuscript we have of the exact same recitation that the modern Quran is in is earliest manuscript is 1924.
one of my old videos, you told me we've got original manuscripts like the Birmingham
He literally brought up the Birmingham manuscript.
even the Top Cup
And that too.
manuscript. There's a one in Yemen as well. They all date back, carbon dated back to the time of the Prophet. So, who's correct? Do we have any original manuscripts of the Quran, or is this person lying?
Yes, there are original.
Yeah, so absolutely straw man's everything Sam's saying, right? Like, I don't even have any words. It's a 30-second video, and you already are straw manning him. But let's test this. Is it true that the earliest manuscript that is the exact same as the Quran we read today, like same recitation, like modern Quran is from the 1900s, specifically the Cairo edition. Let's see. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Let's see. Let's see if this is correct. I had to specify because it's including textual differences, but that's not what Sam's point is. Sam's point is like ignoring like the textual differences. Okay. Let's see. Published in 19 was indeed a major effort. It was, which is most widely okay. So like the one that he's referring to would be the Cairo edition, being the earliest manuscript that matches the modern Quran we read today. Interesting. Let's move on to the second video. What's up, y'all? All right, let's get back into it. Just making sure y'all can hear me. All right. Exposing the Lies, Debunk Leaky with Lily J, episode 2.
Wow, did you guys just hear what ChatGPT said? Like, that is the total opposite of what the media said. Debunk.
So one thing I wish, like, I also like to provide constructive criticism. One thing I wish Lily J would do is just not make her basis or all her answers based on ChatGPT. Like, I understand, like, ChatGPT, you can use ChatGPT. That's one thing I differ. Like, in a debate, ultimately your goal is to be able to show the truth, right? And that's what we want within religious debates. If you using ChatGPT to find those answers, I don't have a problem with that, right? Because ultimately we're seeking the truth. That's fine. But I wish she didn't only use ChatGPT. I wish she would, like, you can ChatGPT like asking for the information or sources for these things and then using those sources, right? That's fine. But just asking ChatGPT to answer these questions, or if this is true, as if it's an objective, infallible authority, is complete nonsense, dude. On top of that, the ChatGPT she is using is highly has been like changed and altered heavily, and that's apparent because if you ask the ChatGPT any of these questions, they differ constantly. You saw that in the last live I did, and you'll be seeing it in this live too, with what she's saying. On top of that, she also limits ChatGPT. If you ask like, what language did Jesus speak? She's like, answer in one word or whatever, or altering it. which is a restricted argument. It is also fallacious because you can consider it like some sort of type of false dilemma, because it's not as simple as just saying the Aramaic, right? There's more to it. But she's restricting ChatGPT. Obviously, that might be from this. I'm not going to assume that's intentionally, but it might be from the sake of time constraint. But it is intellectually dishonest. And it is also unfair to have a extremely biased and personalized ChatGPT that's personalized to a Muslim perspective answer these things and then use it as an objective authority. It would be much better if her ChatGPT was not logged into and refreshed every question like I'm doing and using that as an authority. That's way better than using a highly personalized and edited ChatGPT that only responds in the Islamic perspective.
Weekly with Lily J.
Let's get ready to rumble!
Hey guys, so my messages this last week have been absolutely flooded with videos that you guys have sent me that you want me to watch and discuss. So I'm super excited to get into this today. Let's see what we've got. Okay, so this next video is from Raman Matthews. Let's give it a watch.
If a Christian opens fire on a bunch of innocent civilians, it's pretty easy to see the daylight between that and what not only Jesus preached, but how Jesus lived.
Yeah.
For example, let me give you, and I've talked about this quite a bit. If someone commits murder, right, mass murder, and they say, I'm doing it because I'm a white Christian fundamentalist, which almost pretty much never happens.
Hang on a minute. Let me just stop it right there. Hey, ChatGPT, I've just got a quick question. What was the worst religious hate mass gun shootings in the last decade?
The deadliest religious hate mass shooting in the last decade was the Christchurch mosque shootings in New Zealand on March 15, 2019. A Christian gunman killed 51 people and injured many others during Friday prayer at 2 mosques.
Wow.
Wow, indeed. And that's not what he's claiming. He's saying that the white Christian fundamentalists doing these shootings, it's a rare occurrence. He didn't say it never happened, which is she's strawmanning the position. Also, what a freeze frame. But she's strawmanning the position of what the guy's talking about already a minute and 20 seconds in the video. With intro, it's probably like 20.
Okay, let's just narrow it down a little bit more because this guy in the video is American. So let's have a little look in his backyard, shall we? In America, in the last 5 years, how many mass shootings have there been?
According to Gun Violence Archives, there have been over 2,500 mass shootings in the United States in the past 5 years.
Wow, that is a lot. How many of these have been Muslim?
Based on available data, Muslim shooters have been responsible for fewer than 1% of these incidents.
Wow. What about Christians? How many have been Christian?
Roughly, it's estimated that around 60 to 70% of mass shooters in the US over the past 5 years have been Christian.
Wow. Hey, it just doesn't really matter for the point, but actually, it's pretty good debunking of him saying it's rare for white Christian fundamentalists. But then for the second point that talks about like it's explicitly not biblical, yeah. How many shootings in the last 5 years occurred in America? We're just gonna verify these claims just to make sure. What percent of those were from Muslims? Let's see. Or not to by religion. Oh, here's a ChatGPT is already dogging on like the accuracy of what she's doing. Determining the percentage of shootings committed by Muslims in the U.S. is challenging because mass shootings are not typically categorized by the religion of the perpetrators in official U.S. databases. Okay. So ChatGPT can't give a number off this. All right, fantastic. So there you go with another rigged ChatGPT, but it's working. There we go.
That is a big number. I was not expecting that. But I just want to make a point. Like, I'm not trying...
Actually, one more thing. In the last 5 years in America, how many shootings were by Christians? Okay, so it can't do it for that either. There you go with the rigged
to
ChatGPT.
say that Christianity promotes violence and promotes terrorism. Like, That's not it at all. We all know Christianity is a religion of peace. Why can't
You,
the same
that's a valid point. I appreciate that, Lily J. That's her being intellectually honest. Thank you.
view be applied to Islam as well? Islam is a religion of peace too. We all know that. So yeah, that's all I'm trying to say.
I'm gonna use ChatGPT. Is Islam historically a religion of peace? Is Christianity historically a religion of peace? Let me see. Which religion historically is more peaceful? Christianity. I'm not gonna wait for it to respond. It's taking too long. Yeah, actually, no. If you had to pick. All right, here you go. Christianity has had more periods of state-driven violence. Well, yeah. Okay. Where religion was in Islam, on the other hand, has had periods of conflict, but the religious justification for violence was often framed as a defense of the Muslim community. I see. There you go.
Keep watching.
But if they do it, you go, okay, hold on a second. Did Jesus preach that? No. Okay. Did Jesus kill anybody? No. Did he mass murder anybody? No. Did he call for the death of No. All right.
Hang on a second. Did Jesus ever call for the death of anybody?
Yes. In Luke 19:27, Jesus says, "But those enemies of mine who did not want me to be king over them, bring them here and kill them in front of me."
Wow. Was Jesus ever violent?
It could be said that Jesus displayed violence when he drove out merchants from the temple, overturning tables and using a whip.
Okay. Let's ask you. Was Jesus ever violent? There were a few instances. Okay, here we go. There you go. Pretty accurate. Okay. There you go. Did Muhammad ever call? What was the first thing?
Was Jesus ever violent?
No.
Jesus says,
It's okay to kill. Are there any verses in the Bible?
Did Muhammad ever call anyone to kill anyone? Did Muhammad ever okay. And was Muhammad ever violent? Oh, look. So here, Muhammad did call for this action. Okay. It's valid in certain contexts. That's fine. Muhammad is not generally, however, there's contexts, defense battles, the Battle of Badr, conquest of Mecca, ordered execution. Okay, there you go. No, let's refresh just to keep it unbiased.
About killing and violence?
yes, the Bible contains verses that permit or command killing in certain contexts. For example, Exodus 21:17 states, "Anyone who curses their father or mother is to be put to death." And 1 Samuel 15:3 commands, "Now go and attack the Amalekites and totally destroy all that belongs to them. Do not spare them. Put to death men and women, children and infants, cattle and sheep, camel donkeys."
Wow. Does the Quran ever mention anything similar to this?
The Quran does contain verses that discuss warfare and punishment, but they are generally within the...
Does the Quran ever condone or say anyone in any context? Let's see what it says. Here, like same thing. Typically contextualized by the circumstance. All right. There's context. Obviously, with her response, the Bible doesn't say that you just kill people. Like it's just allowed, right? There's obviously context behind it. It's also Levitical laws she's bringing up, which are no longer in place. But I mean, if you look at the historicity of it, even if you take the Torah or the Old Testament as corrupted scriptures, these events still happened by the Israelites. Before this, the other two revelations, according to Islam. Yeah. Let's continue.
Context of self-defense, justice, or historical battles. Unlike the Bible's Old Testament, where some verses command killing entire populations, the Quran does not call for the indiscriminate killing of non-believers, but rather limits warfare.
Okay, so in percentage-wise, which book speaks more about violence, the Quran or the Bible?
Okay,